There is a history of this world that has been erased from your textbooks.
Beneath our feet lie the bones of a lost civilization.
In the 1800s and early 1900s, newspapers across America reported hundreds of discoveries. Skeletons measuring 8, 10, and even 12 feet tall, with double rows of teeth and 6 fingers on each hand. But where are these bones now? Why does the Smithsonian Institute deny they ever existed?
Some say it was to protect the theory of evolution, because these bones, they don't fit the narrative. They were not human, they were not ape, they were something else entirely.
To understand what they were, we must go back to the oldest text known to man, the Bible. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days. The Bible calls them the Nephilim. But they were not just big men. They were monsters born of a forbidden sin. The ancient Book of Enoch, a text lost for centuries, tells us exactly where they came from: Mount Hermon. It was here that 200 angels, known as the Watchers, descended. They made a pact that would doom the earth. They looked upon the daughters of men and saw that they were beautiful. They abandoned their heavenly station. They took human forms, and they took human wives. This was an abomination, an unholy mixing of spiritual DNA with physical human flesh. The result of this union was never meant to exist. It broke the laws of nature. And when these women gave birth, they did not give birth to humans. They gave birth to the Nephilim, beings of immense size, immense strength, and immense hunger. The ancient texts say that the giants consumed all the acquisitions of men. When the crops were gone, they turned to the livestock, but it wasn't enough. When the animals were gone, they turned on the humans. They began to devour mankind, and they began to sin against the birds and beasts and reptiles. They corrupted the genetics of everything, creating hybrids and monsters that we now call mythology. The earth was filled with violence. The human bloodline, the very DNA of Adam, was almost completely contaminated. Only one family remained genetically pure: Noah. God had to act. To save humanity, the corruption had to be washed away. The decision was made. Reset. The fountains of the great deep burst forth. The waters rose above the highest mountains. The Nephilim armies drowned. Their physical bodies were destroyed, but their spirits became the demons that roam the earth today. The world was cleansed. It should have been the end of the story. But the Bible adds a terrifying detail. There were giants in those days, and also after that. After the flood, when Moses sent spies into the promised land, they found them again. The cities were walled up to heaven, and the people inside were of great stature. We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Rephaim. His bed was over 13 feet long, made of iron.